Hey guys, and Parker saying hi in the background with his barking. I wondered if you guys had heard about this story here. Look at him. He's on guard. Yes, we have people outside that may be doing something. I don't even see anybody. But let's see here. I'm actually taking this from somebody else's page because I don't want to go find her up on. I think this was done on TikTok. So I just wanted to. Okay. So let me just preface this by saying I'm a nice person. I'm a sweet person. I'll do anything for my family and my friends. Beautiful woman, isn't she? And I help anybody out. Try to stay in my own lane. Try not to bother anyone or do anything. But when people play in my face and plot and plan and do foul stuff. And I'm just going to leave that there because I don't want to sit and hold this through the whole thing. But the gist of it is that her husband is this really big guy. I think he's in finance kind of in Atlanta, but he makes like I think when they looked, he's worth $8 billion. So yeah, he makes some money. I know she discussed about one child that they had a son because when she was telling the story, she was saying when she confronted him about the issue, the son came downstairs and she told him to go ahead and go back up. It was okay. So just turn this down. You know, if I was much more professional, my videos would probably be more professional. Yeah. Anyway, I'll give some winner picture. Parker! Well, we see how good he listens to me. Anyway, she finds out that her husband has had a mistress by actually she was trying to get dinner prepared because he was one of these guys that had to travel a lot. So he had traveled out of country and he was coming home and she was trying to make sure dinner was going to be done when he got home. And so she had called the airline because she was in the car to find out what time the plane was landing. And so the guy wanted her to give the person's name. So she said she didn't understand why, but she went ahead and gave the guy her husband's name. And so the representative for the airline told her, yes, Mr. So-and-so and Miss So-and-so landed 20 minutes ago. So she was saying, hey, I just need to know about my husband. And he said it again. And she was like, you know, when you first hear something shocking, you like, I know I heard this, but it's not registering because nobody should be flying with my husband. So why has he attached this woman's name to her? So anyway, she ends up going through the credit cards because she said she never really looked at the bills except for the couple of ones that she paid because, hell, he's worth $8 billion. He's paying all the bills. So she ends up looking at the credit card bills, and lo and behold, for the last 8 months that she went back, the woman's name was on every bill, and it was like trips here, trips there. She was like, the lady was going on trips maybe 4 times a month. So when she finally confronted him, he first lied, which they always do. He kept on lying for a minute, and then finally he said, yeah, she was on the trip with me. So she wanted to know, how long they had been together. He said a little bit over 2 years. So then she says, well, maybe we should sell the house and move, get some counseling or whatever. What do you think of that? And so he was like, well, pretty much if you want to, yeah, okay. So she was like, and are you going to stop seeing her? And she said he tilted back, sat there. It was like, no, I'm not going to stop seeing her. So she was like, well, you want a divorce? He looks at her and tells her, no, he didn't want a divorce because he wasn't going to let nobody F up his money. So let me get this straight, asshole. You think because you're worth $8 billion, your shit don't stink. So you're going to tell your wife that you don't want to divorce from her and you're going to keep your little young girlfriend all at the same time. I don't know what has happened to the men in this world, but they all have lost their freaking mind. First of all, he ain't no young spry thing. And any man that would tell me that girl is with him because she loves him is stupid. I don't know why older men seem to think that because a young girl pays them some attention, it's because she really like you. No, they don't. I was a young woman at one time. Hell, that's how I got to be an old woman. And when I was in my 20s, the only thing an old man was good for was the fact that he had money and he was willing to spend it on me. And what you normally try to do is go as long as you could before you had to sleep with him. And majority of the time, you're going to dip if you got to do that. Now, if he's a little bit more palatable on the eyesight and, he kind of took care of himself and his body ain't, all fat and all that, yeah, you might sleep with him. But he was just a means to the end. Even when they marry you. The hope is that your old ass is going to die first so they can have the money and go get them a young man if they don't already have one. Me and my barber had this conversation, and he was saying that he's had men come in and they be talking about this and all that, showing pictures of the little young girlfriend, and he was like, well, you do know that probably she's just with you because, you got money. And one guy told him, he was like, yeah, he knows. And he's like, well, I'm old. What am I going to do with it? So I'd rather spend it on her and have something pretty around. And yeah, I know she takes my money and spends it on the young guy that she's with, but I'm okay with that. Men are stupid. They're just dumbasses sometimes. And that's an old fool. I have yet to hear an older woman say, yeah, I got the young stud and I know he's with me for my money. And what else am I going to do with it? Well, we can find a lot of things to do with it. And if she does have a young gigolo, she paying him for the moment, not long term. I'm paying you for this dinner tonight and whatever else may go on. And then you scoot your ass on back to whatever you live and do that I paid you for that moment. Most women are not paying long term unless they're just as dumb. I don't know why this really infuriated me because oh, this is so pretty. I haven't seen this one. People take marriage so lightly, and you don't have to get married. That's the thing. You don't have to be in a relationship with anybody. You don't have to marry anybody. You can see as many people as you want. Why can't you just be honest about it? If you want to date multiple men or multiple women, just say, where I'm at in my life right now, I'm not ready to settle down. We can have some dinner, have some fun or whatever, but I am going to be seeing other people. But most people won't say that because they figure if they tell that to some people, they're going to be like, no, thank you. I'm looking for something else. And they have a right. If we were more honest on the front end, some of the stuff that happened on the back end where people are killing each other or killing the person, hurting other people, breaking up homes, children, get out of here. Children, I apologize, y'all. Children being hurt, homes being broken and separated, it could be solved if people were just more honest on the front end. Or even after you get in it. If you decide after 10 or 15 years that being married is not what you want, then why can't you be honest with the person that you sleep next to? The one that had your children, the one that's cooking and cleaning and all that stuff, the one that goes out to work to bring in the money for the family. What's wrong with being honest? I don't understand this whole thing of the lying. If you're man or woman enough to go out and do what you do, then be man or woman enough to admit that you did it. Am I wrong in that? And I say that from experience. from both sides. In my younger years, I have messed with other people's husbands before I had a more mature outlook. And it was for the resources. And in my older years, after being the wife and getting messed on, or the husband messing around with someone else, I've seen it from both sides of the fence. And to be honest, nobody really wins in these situations. Not the man, the two women, or the woman and the two men, the three men or the three women. Nobody wins. Because from what I've seen, even if the person leaves whoever they're with and get with the side person, it never lasts. Because it was more fun when they were dipping and doing that when they had somebody at home than it is when they have them all the time. And then that person gets to see what the person that was with them really dealt with. Honesty to me is so important. I look at the people on YouTube, and there are so many people that lie, all for $1. And I have to wonder, what is your karma going to be in the end? Will you have all of this materialistic stuff, and yet you be by yourself, or you're lonely and unhappy, or you're sickly? At some point, you have to pay the piper. The Pied Piper does come for the paycheck or for the check. So you may go along, skipping through the tulips and everything is going well. But at some point, we all have to pay. And if you live long enough, you will realize that nothing is for free. Even your behavior, decisions, choices. Oh, there's always some consequences. And I don't know when we will get to that point that we can be more honorable people with each other. I mean, that is my biggest pet peeve. Matter of fact, why don't you guys put in the chat, what is your biggest pet peeve? The one thing that's a deal breaker, the one thing that just gets you so upset. Mine is lying. Oh my gosh. And sometimes when I get on here, y'all, I be excited because I'm passionate about things that I'm passionate about. Okay, so I don't be like upset really. Like when I be talking about McNasty, I don't be upset. I just be like, sometimes I just get why she does it, but why continue to do it? You know, I do know she got issues, but you can always do better. And I do know she's smart enough to know what she's doing. Very calculating. So if you can do all that to separate people from their money, there's a whole lot more you can do that would be more honest. So when I talk about lying, when I look at people's pages, I'm always looking to see what they're not saying. Especially the ones that's supposed to be showing their life. You're showing this part of your life. Why? And what's behind it? You know what I'm saying? Like they got the whole mommy sector. If I had 5 kids, I would not have time to be on YouTube all day if I'm trying to be a real mom. I don't know how, so my thing is, what's lacking? You're on YouTube doing crazy stuff about the men you date, or some of them just having babies back to back because that's how they make their money. I just don't, some things I just can't wrap my mind around. And I don't know if it's because it's age, or is it just the way or the state of affairs that this world is in. There are some things that I look at and be like, why would you do that? Or why are you doing it that way? I told y'all, I have a big thing about people's behaviors. Because I'm always wondering, why are you doing it? Why are you acting like that? I checked out our buddy's 2 little videos on Miss Etna and the fire. Let me say this. Whoever pays to go camp with her is, like I said about her, a dumbass. This woman can't even build a fire. I'm sorry. I'm not a camper. I kind of like a little, luxury. So when I think of camping, I'm thinking of log cabin, go outside, play in the snow and all that kind of stuff, maybe build a fire and all that, but we go sleep inside a shelter with a bed. Now, I have done it where I had to hack it, it was okay. I guess I could say I could maybe do that maybe once or twice a year. But all the time, no. Because there's only certain times of the year that I want to be outside anyway. So I do know how to build a fire, though. I was a Girl Scout. But my thing is, how is it that you are saying that you want to teach others how to camp for themselves, but yet you can't start a fire? First off, and I know she didn't show this, but I'm like, did you clean out all the wet stuff that was probably sitting in there because it had been raining for over a week? Firstly, you need to take whatever wet stuff that was in there out because it's going to mess with you starting your fire. And then the leaves and all that stuff that she was trying to put on after the fact, you should have used that in the smaller branches as your kindling and had that going, and then put your wood sort of like a TP to get stuff started. So it could have been the wood, but it seemed to start burning later on. But I think it's because the bottom part was wet, and they didn't clean that out. And I'm sorry, but I've never used lighter fluid to start a fire. I've used it for a grill, and now I don't even do that because I just buy the charcoal with the lighter fluid in it. But my thing is, I've never used it on a fire, so I'm just trying to figure out who taught her how to build a fire. Hell, she had fire coming all out the fire pit on the ground. I'm like, is she trying to burn up the park? It's a good thing the ground was probably still wet from all the rain. And I'm just like, all y'all did was have smoke. They had a smoke pit, not a fire pit. I bet her and Miss Etna smelled like a big old piece of wood. And knowing her, she was supposed to go. Well, she probably didn't wash yesterday. She spent 3 hours cleaning out the back of the mystery van. How much shit you got back there? I don't understand her concept because she claims she cleaned out the van and got it all packed to go on this trip. And it seemed like, no, you didn't. And she had shit back there that she didn't even know. She found one shoe that was a man size 10. Some crap that you done bought for 25 cents. Don't even know why you bought it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And she had on that same damn bodysuit. I guess she gonna wear them bodysuits until they standing up on their own. When she take them off, she just stand them in the corner until she goes and wash. You see, even Miss Etna had on pajamas with socks and stuff. And this is my thing. What kind of camper are you, ma'am? You ain't even doing van life right. Of course, there are seasons. If you're not going to move with the seasons, such as you may be in, let's say, Colorado for the summer because it's cooler, and then Arizona for the winter. Even in that, with the way our weather has been, why don't you have a sleeping bag, like the 0 degree sleeping bag, so that if it's cold outside, you can get inside the sleeping bag, and with your body heat, it's going to keep you warm. Why wouldn't you invest in that? Why wouldn't you invest in something that you put on the side of your van so if it rains, you still have covering if you need to go outside or do something right outside the van? Why not have long johns or winter pajamas since you knew you was going to go to a place that gets fairly cold at night, even in the desert, and you can wear those versus sleeping in your clothes all the time? Oh, look at the eyes. I mean, these are just little things. I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgeon or an Einstein to think of these things if you're going to be talking about living out of your vehicle and being on the road through the different seasons. You don't have a raincoat. All your umbrellas are broke. One would think that you would say, it's wintertime. It's kind of a rainy season sometimes. Let me make sure my umbrellas work. I mean, it's just like a a chaotic situation stuffed in a van and traveling around the country, because she never has anything prepared for what it needs to be when she needs it. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's always looking for something and can't find it. Like it took her a whole week to find the dang hammock that she talked about and had Miss Etna get in there. But did you ever see her lay in the hammock? Nope, her attention span is about as long as a 2-year-old's. And she decided to clean out the back of the van, even though she cried and whined about that damn hammock for a whole week. You find it, you put it on the trees, and then you don't even get in it. Her mind, the way it works, is like, you know what? If I could climb in there, it'd be like going to Disney World. Because I'm sure there's rides like roller coasters and Ferris wheels that go round and round and up and down and here and there. Because you see it in her behavior. It's amazing. Sometimes I'm just sitting looking at her like, how do you live with this chaos? Nothing is ever just straight with her. It's never just, I'm going from point A to point B and it's going to be easy. It's always something. And if Miss Etna let Chewy stay with her for a week, she crazy as hell. Chewy will not probably come back. Chewy, tell her, no, you don't want to go. Say, no, Mommy, I don't want to go with the lady who don't like dogs. Child, Chewy, you probably see Chewy on the side of the road with a sign saying, will work for food. Please take me home. Oh, yeah. Well, if you haven't seen the video, I think the lady name is Gail. Go check it out. She's now, you don't think I hate about TikTok, you don't get to see the whole, you got to go through so many different little, what do they call them? Series, because like I think she has 8 on there. But, and this happened in 2022, so she has since left her husband and has gotten representation. She got 2 females, yay. And so I believe homeboy will be having to cough up some of the money that he didn't want to give up. And hopefully she can get half, depending on how much she put in the marriage, how long they've been there and all that. Give her half. Give her half. Give her, well, he got $8 billion. Give her $4 billion. You know, he still got enough to give to his women and play around. She deserves it. I'm sure some people will disagree. But even if she was a wife that stayed home, she kept herself up. She's a beautiful woman. She kept their house up. She went to functions with him. She supported him and the things that he did. She raised their children. Yeah, that's a job. Because anybody that had to do that and work outside the home will tell you it is a job. Even the ones who work in the house and don't work outside the home, they'll tell you it is a job, because let them stop doing what they do. And we'll see what the house and the children and how everybody function if the mama or whoever the stay-at-home parent is sits down and say they ain't doing nothing no more. So check that out. I thought it was interesting. All right. Let me get back to work. I don't know why. I just don't feel like working this morning or today. But it is what it is. I hope everybody is having a marvelous Monday. We got sunshine. So I don't know. I might go walking. I need to. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.